it was him talking about how this system, this legal system, it's just a system. Well, this has been, I think what we're getting to, and I think this quote that I'm about to butcher, it helps kind of not wrap things up, but give the right context I think we can all probably agree with. So this Preparara, I think he's a longtime federal prosecutor. He was the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, I think under President Obama. And he wrote a book, I think it's called Doing Justice. And I remember the last page, he had this incredible quote, or at least I found to be incredible. And it was it was him talking about how this system, this legal system, it's just a system. It's fallible because it's created by humans. There's always going to be work for improvement. And what it needs in order for it to do justice, to do right, is good people. Without good people in this system on every side, right? Like prosecution, criminal defense, the judiciary, without good people, the system doesn't work the way that it needs to. And so really, so what do we do then? We need to put good people in those shoes. We need to give them the right training. We need to give them the right resources. And it's just a work in progress that will always have room for improvement because it's a product developed by humans.
However, where's that line at where we're willing to say, I want to do all those things? And I recognize that I have a responsibility to understand that I've got great power and that comes great responsibility. And I must recognize
Uncle Ben from Spider-Man, right?
I must recognize that I will put some innocent people in jail if I'm not careful. And even if I'm careful, I've still put an innocent person in jail. Now, I do have a job to do, and that's to follow the law and apply it in a way that I think is just and humane. And then if we're not careful, if we put prosecutors in that position that actually believe that in their core, whether they would say that out loud, what kind of result are we going to get from a bunch of people that hate?
We're talking about people's liberty. We're talking about community safety. We're talking about all these very, very important things. And I really wish we would put more resources behind it because there's a lot more work to be done.